Shalom, Akim. We're coming back again to prophesy the downfall of America, Great Babylon, as it's known in the scriptures. All right, I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, to let the Negro, Latinos, and Native American Indians know that you are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to the brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth, risking their life for Yahweh Shai's sake and the elect. All right, and as always, you know, as I said, we come out here to prophesy, we come out here to teach, to exhort, to admonish, and to rebuke. All right, and sometimes, you know, we don't have to jump on everybody's ass, whoever may be out here. You know, sometimes we'll just go into certain lessons, you know, just to edify and build each other up, build up the brothers, you know. But yeah, the brother with me over here is Izar, over here in Midland, Texas. So yeah, we're gonna go into some scriptures. We're gonna speak about the chariots. Let me double check this. Okay. And Salakia for that, brothers. I forget my my tripod, and actually I haven't used my phone this time to record the us being out here. So just bear with us. So the brother's we're gonna just jump into talking about the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and how the Bible speaks of them. All right, just to prove certain scenarios, the scriptures, certain books, the epistles, where the men of the Lord encountered these crafts and the beings that were inside of them, which were the angels of the Lord, the messengers. You know. So we're gonna just jump into Ezekiel chapter 1. The brother's gonna start off. Ezekiel chapter 1. Start at verse.
Ezekiel 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, the 4th month, the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river Kabar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw a vision of God.
Right, and this is Ezekiel giving us his testimony or his eyewitness of what he had encountered and saw in the land of their captivity, which was where? In the land of Babylon, man. Okay?
In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Joachim captivity, the word of Yahweh came expressly unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Uzziah, in the land of the Chaldeans.
The Chaldeans, man. He was in the land of the Babylonians, where the prophet Jeremiah prophesied that they were going to go into because of their rebelliousness. All right, from breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, not hearkening unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, nor hearkening unto the prophet Jeremiah, man. So Ezekiel is a prophet himself. All right, and he's going to go into certain prophecies and things of that nature when you go into different chapters of the book. But now, like I said, we're speaking about the chariots, you know, and showing how this man he was from the tribe of Levi. He was a priest. All right. He witnessed the chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, all right, in the land of the Chaldeans, which is the Babylonians, all right.
The land of the Chaldeans by the river Kabar, and the hand of Yahweh was there upon him.
The Spirit of the Lord was with him, all right. The Spirit of the Lord was dealing with him. That's why, brothers, when we witness the chariots, the boneheads called UFOs, really they're the vehicles of the Most High. That's because the Lord is dealing with that brother to be able to receive that, man. Go ahead.
And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north.
That's right, a whirlwind came out of the north, man. A great gush of wind, you know. But also when you read the word whirlwind, in some cases in the Bible, it's referring to a chariot. Okay? Go ahead.
A great cloud and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it.
And you have to be visual. There's a movie called the Third Encounter, or a Close Encounter of the Third Kind. It's an old school UFO movie. Now, whenever they show this one scene where I think it's that movie, because they show a scene where they start witnessing the chariots, those UFOs come down. Well, there's one scene where there's a little child at its home, and you look at the distance in the sky. It's all different colors of red, the color of amber. The clouds are coming in, rolling like a scroll. Those were those chariots coming in the atmosphere, man. So where did they get that scene from? Right here, in the book of Ezekiel. There's another movie called The Knowing with Nicolas Cage. That's not talking about the chariots, but there's certain references in that movie that goes back to Ezekiel. Because whenever he received that piece of paper that his son had found, and on the front and back of it was written a code of different numbers, right? Which represented what? Lamentations, woes, and mournings. Like Ezekiel was commanded to eat that scroll. But in that movie, they were showing the destruction, which is going to be by way of fire. Which in the Bible, it talks about that as well. So that's all synonymous, and it goes hand in hand, because it's going to be destroyed by fire, by what Esau made, so-called white man, the thermonuclear destruction, the ICBM missiles. But also, Yahweh Shai is going to come back with the angels and his chariots that they call UFOs, zapping and destroying people too as well. So you got different movies that reference the scriptures, all right? And that's how you have to be visual. So you read the scripture, you read the description, so you start visualizing it. But that's one movie you can watch, the Close Encounter of the Third Kind. It's an old school UFO movie. It's really good because they get it from the Bible. You know, Mount Zion. Everybody's having a vision of some kind of mountain, and they go to that mountain. Guess what? That's where all the chariots are there. That's where they all meet. What does that sound familiar to? Mount Zion, man. Mount Sinai, where Moses was, and he went up into the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Guess what was there with him? A chariot, man. All right? Which I was going to bring that out, but go ahead and read that one part again.
And I looked, and behold, the whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it.
Yeah, and a brightness was about it, man, that chariot. You know? What they call UFOs, unidentified flying objects, but really they've been identified already. They're talked about in the scriptures, man. They're likened as to be clouds, whirlwinds, a pillar of fire, or a cloud by day. That's what guided the Israelites out of Egypt during the time of Moses, man. Was a UFO, a chariot. Okay? This ain't no new age BS, man. This is real life stuff. Because even your scientists, even your government, your CIA operatives, you got your FBI operatives, they all know about these things. You got the Air Force, all right? They see these things, man. These things are well documented. Even Christopher Columbus, in his writings, witnessed lights in the sky, man. You think it's a bunch of BS, but guess what? It's spoken of in the Bible, man. The Holy Bible, the King James Version, not the NIV. All right, y'all people, because y'all been dumbfounded or dumbified here in America. Y'all can't read what the scriptures say here in the Old Testament, man. Y'all like that watered down stuff. No, man, you got to stay with King James, man. And the Bible breaks down itself already as it is. All right, before you go any further, we'll go ahead and bring this one out. This is in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou unto us, and we will hear it. But let not God speak unto us, lest we die. See, because Yahweh Shai, he came down from his throne, man, out of the heavens, what y'all people call outer space. And he rested right there at Mount Sinai. Even to this very day, it's black on top of that mountain, man. Okay? So like I said, you got different movies that give you a visual on how it looked. Okay? Go ahead, Al.
and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire.
That's right, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire, man. You know, because when you hit that atmosphere, that's what it produces. Okay, go ahead.
Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
4 living creatures. People are like, oh, there's got to be life besides of Earth. There's got to be life outside of our galaxy. There is, man. It's not the life that you think of. There ain't no other human being. This is the center of the galaxy. This is the center of the universe, right here, of the Earth. This is the Earth, the Most High's footstool. And everything outside of this is his throne. So that the living creatures are what? The angels, man. Which the word angel, angeles, means messenger. Okay? That's what it is. They're not these little fat little white babies floating in the heaven with wings, man. Alright? The angels, when you read the Bible, the angels look like so-called black men, man. They're brown-skinned people. Okay? You got something to say?
Just downtown over there in Odessa, I went the other day, passing by the police office, there's this so-called angel-looking statue that they built. It looks like an Edomite. I mean, that's Esau telling you right there, trying to fool and deceive everybody, man. Deception.
Yeah. And the scriptures say that in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, who changes the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now, during the Renaissance period, which Renaissance means rebirth, that's when they started doing the iconoclasm, destroying the images, because during the Dark Ages, all the people that ruled were so-called black men. All right, the Moors. All right, you had the so-called Negroes that were ruling in that time. But not only just because of that, but going all the way to the ancient times, before that, the people of the Bible were so-called black men, man. All right, they were men of color. Even who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, all right, that comes from Cesar Borgia during the Renaissance period, who set up his son to deceive the world that the Lord was the so-called white man, or that the angels are so-called white people, all right, or the apostles, the prophets are so-called white people, Caucasians. The word Caucasian comes from the word, the Mountain Caucasus, which means cave dwellers, man. You see what I'm saying? And it's beautiful because I made a video this morning saying, be not ignorant of Satan's devices. That's part of his devices. Satan, Shaitan, means adversary. Who's adverse against everything that is righteous? Who's adverse at everything that is righteous? Esau, man. The Edomites. The so-called white men. Alright? They destroy the earth. They destroy our people. They give us defiled food. You know? They got GMO foods. With GMOs, genetic modified organisms, man. You know? There's no benefit in any of that, man. That's why America has the highest rate of obesity and people, you know, diabetes and things of that nature. You know? So, but like the brother had made mention of the angels. You know? They were of color, man. Those were those living creatures. Go ahead.
And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
That's right, they sparkled as the color of burnished brass. What color is brass? It's like a goldish brown color. All right? Now, they were radiance, man. It's like you got this controversy between if King David was a so-called white man, because the word ruddy or ruddy, but they don't have understanding on that word ruddy is, man. Because that word ruddy, when you go to the blue letter, it goes back to Adawam or red, right? Adawam, red, which when you have common sense, you think about it, because you got one man that's red. You got the word ruddy that goes back to the word red, but also ruddy can also refer to as a comeliness and beauty, a beautiful complexion. Now Esau, he lacks pigment. He don't have no complexion. That's why he goes out into the sun to get a tan. But he comes out looking worse. You see? So ruddy versus Esau red, all right, Edom, Adawam. That's where they don't have the understanding. They can't grasp it because King David, he was a red bone and he was a beautiful complexion. He wasn't a pale-skinned man, as you see these Caucasians out here. He was what they call today a red bone. He had a beautiful complexion. All right, that's how you make that distinction. So the angels said that they had a color glass.
Sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
That's right. They sparkle as the color of burnished brass. And if you go to the book of Daniel, I'll go ahead and bring that out real quick. Even Yahweh Shai is burnished brass. All right. This is in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz, his body also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning. See? And they said that their appearance was as lightning, man. Right? It says, his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms as the feet, like in color, the color to polished brass. Meaning that Yahweh Shai, he was a man of color, man. He had a complexion of radiance. All right? Not no pale-skinned Edomite, so-called white men. Because they're the devil. Here, according to the scripture, they're considered the devil. All right? Which the word diablo means deceiver, a liar. Or to be adverse, like I had made mention. That is everything that is called righteous, or the Most High. All right? So the Bible talks about so-called UFOs, or so-called aliens. But really, this is the whole Lord's universe, man. How is he an alien to his own creation? He's a master builder, man. We're just travelers. We're just pilgrims, man. And y'all try to, real quick, the Lord likens men as to being as worms, man. We're like worms. And for us to be like we're greater than the Most High. To say, who are you? You know? He's the mate. He's the one, how does it say it? That he's the potter, and we're the clay. You see? Oh, real quick, let me finish this. Going back to Daniel 10 and 6, his body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color of polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. Now, when you go into that word brass right there, it will bring up a word called burnished. Now, you break down that word burnished, in the French, it means brown, man. But he had that beautiful, shiny, radiant skin. You see what I'm saying? He was in his true form. You know? So, go ahead.
And they had the hands of a man under their wings, and their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings.
So these creatures, they had 4 faces and 4, I think, is it 4 or 6 sets of wings? All right? I mean, they had great power, man. They were swift. All right? Because those certain characteristics, those faces, have characteristics. All right? They had a face. Are they about to read about the faces? I think you're about to read. Go ahead and keep reading.
Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward.
Right.
As the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side.
See, they had a face of a man and a face of a lion. Go ahead.
And they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side.
Represents strength. A lion represents courage, boldness, right? Power. Go ahead.
They 4 also had the face of an eagle.
Right, and the face of an eagle was an eagle, swift. It flies high. We're the chariots up in the heavens, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward, 2 wings of every one were joined one to another, and two covered their bodies.
So they had 4 sets of wings, right? These angels had 4 sets of wings, man. All right, that means they were swift. They were high up there with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. These particular angels, the cherubims or seraphims. All right, you have different levels of angels, man. You got your archangels. You got like your archangel Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, because the Bible mentions these certain angels. You have many more that we don't know of, you know. But you got the archangels. You got different levels of angels. All right. Can they look like that? Yeah, there's a possibility. They can look. They can look a certain way. They don't have to look as a human. You know, Most High can do whatever He wants. You see what I'm saying? But these things that you're seeing are different characteristics of these angels that they had. They had great power. All right, strength. Go ahead.
And they went everyone straight forward, whither the sprint was to go. They went.
What's up, guys?
And they turned not when they went. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps, it went up and down among the living creatures.
That's right. So these chariots, these vehicles, these crafts that they were in, it was governed by their spirit. Where they went, it went. All right. It's not like it was like it was in sync. Like this movie Avatar that not recently came out. It came out not too long ago. The movie Avatar, where those Edomites went into to a different what is it, like a different realm or a galaxy outside of the earth, and there was these different living creatures, man. But there's this one part where they hooked up their long hair up to this horse-like creature into its like its hair, its tail or something, and it became one with them. You see what I'm saying? They were in allegiance with one another in that movie Avatar, with that creature they sat upon, or that flying creature they had got, right? They linked up with the spirit. They were one. So that's how the angels are with these crafts, man. Vice versa. It's not like us going in these cars. These cars don't do whatever they want. We go on to the vehicle, we start it. It don't start itself up on its own. You know, there's this old school horror flick. I forget the name of the movie, but you had like a car that would turn on by itself, and or there was more than one. But there's one that's called over Maximum Drive. We had like I think what's his name, son, Emilio Estevez was in that movie, and you had all these different vehicles that's coming to life, and they were terrorizing the people. And the main vehicle was like a diesel, you know. It didn't have the trailer, but it was just the tractor itself, and had like a green ugly mean face on it in the front end of it. But all these rides were possessed. That's not the way it is, man. We jump into our ride, we control it. So that's how the spirit are, the angels are with the chariots. That's what it's explaining right there.
And the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning.
As an appearance of flash of lightning, man. That's how quick they are. And all this bullshit that Esau has caught them, or they crashed, these so-called UFO crafts have crashed, and they pick them up. That's what do they call it? That's a lie, man. All right, that's deception. You cannot catch a chariot of the Most High, a so-called UFO. All right, and nor will they fail. They're not gonna fail. They're not like our craft, our vehicles. Okay, where they run out of gas, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? The chariots of the Most High are everlasting, man. They can manifest and demanifest themselves. Look at, that's great power, man. You know, some people have theories where they come and get water to activate their craft, to keep their craft going, or they go into the lightning, this, that, and the third. They are lightning, man. They are energy. Don't you understand? The spirit is energy. Read that part again. They give life to those crafts. It's like the movie Green Lantern. You know, they have the power in the ring, and they develop whatever it is that they imagine, and that's their vehicle, that's their craft, that's their weapon. It's the same thing with the angels, man. These Edomites, all these movie producers, they get all that from the Bible, man. All right? Read that part again.
As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearances was like burning coal of fire, and like the appearance of lamps.
See, they're pure energy. But they're so awesome is that they can manifest themselves in the figure of a man, you know? They can manifest themselves right here in the flesh. You won't even know it. You know? A chariot can pop up out of nowhere, man. It could be in the form of a cloud. And you won't even know it.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
What's
Are you
going
going
on?
to be here for a while?
Am I gonna be here for a while? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're over here preaching the word of the Most High while we're going on.
Just curious. Didn't know who you're preaching to.
Preaching to whoever wants to hear. You got a question?
So I don't know if you want the basis of the video or not. But it may be in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're just out here doing the work. All right. I got the scripture right here, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 7. And the angels were saying, "Make the angel spirit and his ministers a flame of fire." So the angels are spirits, and his ministers as a flame of fire, man. That's pure energy. Okay? They're not no a creature that you can go and capture and do as you please, as they show in the Area 51. You know, all these different little things you found on YouTube, all this, it's all nothing but fraud, man, hoaxes. All right? You cannot catch a chariot or UFO, so-called UFO, man, nor an angel. Okay? An UFO, identified flying object. We know what they are. We know who we worship, man. You're still trying to guess what it is. We're telling you, you know? The Akim that watch the videos, go ahead and read it.
Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with 4 faces, the appearance of his wheels, and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they 4 had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
See, you got a wheel within a wheel, man. You know what I'm saying? With their way in the movie, knowing it shows you that. You know, whenever the little kids, they received, it was a boy and a girl, and Nicolas Cage, he was asked out. Even though he knew that things were coming, that all these things were prophesied, he was breaking down that code, but only his son was the one that was going to be delivered, and the little girl. And each of those kids, they were receiving, I think in the movie, there were black stones. Now in the Bible, it tells you that you will receive a white stone, because that goes back to the ancient Romans. Whenever you won or you found favor, you were given a white stone. That's how you knew you won, or you received salvation or deliverance. If you received a black stone, that means you're going to be put to death. Okay? So in that movie, right before the kids were going to be delivered, they were walking like on a puddle, a bunch of black stones, and then out of the sky, that wheel within the wheel came down, and those beings came out, but you couldn't see them as you see us flesh. They were like a see-through. You could see the brain, you know, you could see the energy going through their body. You know, you could see an appearance of wings. You know what I'm saying? And then they called the children to come in, and they got into the wheel within the wheel, and they went straight up into the heavens, man. Where did they get that? Where did they get that? From the Bible. Okay? Real quick, before you go any further, let me bring this one out where I explain that stone. This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 16. Repent, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will fight against them with the sword of my mouth. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna. What is the hidden manna? This. The word manna means what is it? Because whenever the Israelites were in the valley circling for 40 years, all right, they were given manna, heaven's food, angels' food. And that's what they were eating. Okay? What is the angel's food? Right here. The Lord said to Satan when he was tempted by him, it is written that men shall not eat bread alone, but the word of the Most High. You see, it says, to him that overcomes will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and I will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth saving he that receiveth it. And what is that new name? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Because all our life, all our time, we always knew Jesus Christ, right? Or Yahweh, or Yeshua, all these different names. But we never knew the name Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You know what I'm saying? So that in that movie, knowing that's what all the children were given. They were given a black stone. Where did they get that? They got that from the Bible. But they were backwards on it because the white stone represents salvation or deliverance. The black stone represents death. Okay? So the brother's reading that this he's reading what we should be getting paid for it. Or Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah should be given all the praises and glory for it. Because they got that out of the Bible, man. You know how they have certain like copywritten shit, you can't use it. If you use it, you're gonna get it sued. We should be suing their ass, and really we are. We're sending up the complaints. You know what I'm saying? We're crying and sighing for all the abominations that are committed in the earth. They're making a profit off the Most High's word, off His ideas, off His creation. That's what a damn devil does, man. A liar, a deceiver. Go ahead.
Going back to the names, we're singing them now like it's a new song. And that's exactly what the scriptures tells you that we would be doing. Singing like a new song. Like it's never been sung before. And that's the word right here.
Yep. And you may mention that. We bring this out. This is Psalms 98:1. Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song, for He hath done marvelous things. His right hand and His holy arm hath got Him the victory. And who is His holy arm? Yahweh Shah. All right, He has done marvelous things, and this is a marvelous thing that Ezekiel witnessed, man. This vision of a chariot, man, of the Most High. It says, the Lord hath made known His salvation. His righteousness hath He openly showed in the sight of the heathen. Right? And who did He show that to? The Egyptians, all the other nations prior or after. All right. It says he has remembered His mercy and His truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our Lord power. So that's that new song, man. All right. As a brother made mention, it's truth, the true breakdowns. All right. Every answer that you have that you don't know about, Lord willing, we can answer it. We have the answer. Why? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah has endowed us with that unction. All right, with that unction, meaning the anointing, the anointings, not the anointing, but the anointing of the Spirit, man. To know these things. If you don't know what a UFO is, we got the answer. We know what it is. Go ahead.
When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful.
These chariots were ginormous, man. They were huge, man. All right. Now I'm gonna go into the book of 2 Kings 13 because I'm gonna continue on that chariot, because what Ezekiel witnessed was that kingship, that king, the throne, man. Yahweh's throne. All right, go ahead.
As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four.
That's right. That these rings were full of eyes, man.
The eyes of God.
Yeah, the angels. But the chariots, what do they have? They can have windows. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, let me bring this out right here in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 18, or chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. So the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. What are the eyes of the Lord? The chariots, man. And these chariots have eyes around them about themselves too. You got them. That's why they put off lights, you know, different colors of light. Okay, go ahead.
And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the Spirit was to go, they went.
That's right. So the Spirit, who was the Spirit? The angel. So these crafts weren't doing whatever they wanted. Where the Spirit went, that's where that craft went. They were as one. Okay? So these crafts that people see in the heavens, there's actually something in there. It's a spirit, man. It's an energy. And these spirits have the ability to manipulate. They have the ability to even make you bug out from that far of a distance. They can telepathically speak to you. You know? It's like I told this brother, my encounter with a chariot, man, the biggest one I've ever seen. Did I see a physical form of it where it was able to be touched? No. It was a big ball of light. But this ball of light was corresponding with my thought, man, with my thoughts. It was up to me if I believed it was gonna remain there lit. If I doubt it, it was gonna be distinguished. I mean, it was gonna diminish, be extinguished, be put out. And that's what that craft that I saw, that ball of light, it was corresponding with my thoughts, man. Showing me that it's true. Showing me that these crafts, these chariots are really there. Because I was in the very beginning, early stages of me learning. All right? But that's my experience. So these spirits, these crafts come in different ways. You can look at them and be like, damn, you can actually see it's a metallic thing. It's a metallic, craft. Or it might just be a ball of energy. But that ball of energy could turn itself into a thing that you can actually touch. All right? It can manifest and demanifest itself. Go ahead.
Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels.
See?
When
I already revealed to you what the spirit was. It's an angel. Let me read it one more time real quick. This is Hebrews 1:7. And the angels, he saith, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flame of fire. See? One more. Book of Psalms 104. I'm going to start at verse 1. Bless the Lord, Yahweh, O my soul, O Yahweh, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. See? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. See? So that's what those spirits are. It's an angel. Because the word angel means messenger. That's all that word means. Because they're the ones that bring the messages to the prophets, to the men of the Lord on the earth. But it all goes and stems right back to Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shah. So that's whose all glory and honor goes to, not the angels. The angels are just messengers, man. They're just tools, you know. But and they're programmed that way. They're not like in the Christian doctrine. They say that the angels that rebelled because they're envious and they hated God because they created them lower than men, or they're men that was lower than them will receive much more honor, and they got jealous and they rebelled, this, that, and the third, right? Or Lucifer was proud in his heart; he was the most beautiful angel. No, man, that's a bunch of bullshit. It's people on the earth. It's talking about the inhabitants of the earth that did that thing. Because in the heavens, there's order. All right? There's order in the heavens. Matter of fact, before I go any further, let's prove that real quick. Because You know, some things have to be proved immediately. So there's order in heaven. So let's bring it out right here in the book of Sirach, chapter 15, verse, you know what? Go ahead.
This is Greg O'Neill. Which building are you
Hold
in?
that there, and then start at Sirach.
Sirach 16, verse 24. My son, hearken unto me, and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart.
That's right. Learn knowledge. We're the ones. We're in the book of Jeremiah 3:15. The Lord said that He was going to send pastors according to His heart, that shall feed you with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So learn knowledge. You're not going to learn knowledge, the true knowledge, in these churches, from these individual men and women that are out here proclaiming themselves to be Christians or this, that, and the third. All right? You're going to learn it from us, man. Go ahead.
I will shew forth doctrine in weight, and declare his knowledge exactly.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're not ignorant in small or great matter. All right? You're not supposed to. You're supposed to study to show yourself approved unto the Most High. And we're going to show you exactly. Precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be to the points. Go ahead.
The works of the Lord are done in judgment from the beginning, and from the time He made them, He disposed the parts thereof. He garnished His works forever, and in His hand are the chief of them unto all generations.
Everything is in the hand of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Even the angels, they don't go out their course. You know? Go ahead.
They neither labor nor are weary, nor cease from their works.
See? Wait, do that again, slow.
They neither labor,
right?
nor are weary,
nor are they weary, because they're programmed to do exactly what they do, man. That energy. Being in these bodies, it weighs down the spirit, man. That's why we get weak and tired. That's why the Lord said the spirit or the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. You see what I'm saying? But being in this chains of darkness, this flesh, all right, this body of death, like Paul labeled it, this makes us weak, man. All right? The angels are not like that. That's why they labor nor get weary. Go ahead.
nor cease from their works.
Nor do they cease from their works, man. They do exactly what is commanded and they're programmed to do, man. All right? And they do it joyfully and willingly. All right? Even Satan, Shaitan, he does what he was created to do. He does that, man. You don't go outside of Yahweh's orders, man. All right? All the angels, all that Lucifer doctrine that they were fighting against the Lord in heaven, that's a false doctrine, man. Go ahead.
None of them hindereth another.
See, none of them hindereth another. All right? They ain't hindering the spirit. They ain't hindering the prophecies. All right? They ain't hindering Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, nor are they hindering other angels. You got your righteous angels that do, then you got your unrighteous angels that do, the spirits. And neither one of them are going crossing each other's path. All right? Go ahead.
And they shall never disobey his word.
That's right. And they shall never disobey his word. You see? Everything is subjected unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right? It just, you had to come to the proper teachers and gain the proper understanding, Lord willing, to see that. To see that when Satan was shot down as lightning, represented the downfall of a certain kingdom of rulership, man. All right? It's not talking about an angel being brought down to here to the earth and he's walking amongst us, you know, and he has all these superpowers and he's just the Antichrist, you know, and he's dropping his seed into all these different women, you know. No, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain nation that's been shot down. Because Lucifer, what does the word Lucifer mean? It means a light bearer. So he's been brought down to a lower state. All right? He's no longer up on high, soaring high. He's brought down. Okay? So Satan is the word Shaitan, means adversary. Okay? Yeah, that's it on there. Go ahead. Go right there.
When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal.
That's right. And where do you find that at? In the book of Revelations. Let me bring it out real quick. This is Revelations. There's two of them, but I'm going to bring this first one out. This is Revelation chapter 4. And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, "After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me." Because that's how the water, the Lord's voice is as the rivers of living water, man. Now, if you go to a raging river, it's loud, man. You can barely probably hear each other speak. You have to yell at each other when you're right there next to a river. All right? Because what does that living water represent? The Holy Spirit. Okay? But that's how loud the Most High is, man. It says, "Were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will show thee these things which must come hereafter." And John the Revelator was also saw the chariot of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? And immediately I stood, and immediately I was in the spirit. And behold, it's like Ezekiel. And behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. Who was the one sitting on the throne? Yahweh. All right? And he said, and he that sat was to look upon, like at jasper and sardine, and a sardine stone, and there was a rainbow round about the throne, and the sight like unto an emerald. Okay? And round about the throne were 24 elders, or 20 seats. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings. We read it in Ezekiel chapter 1, and I brought it out in Exodus chapter 20. All right? That's the chariots. That's the power and the majesty of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? And we ain't going to get the full power of it, the full understanding, until we actually see it, man. We're just getting glimpses, visualizing, you know? It says, "And out of the throne proceeding lightnings and thunderings and voices, and there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of Yahweh. And before the throne was a sea of glass like unto crystal." Okay? So that's that throne, man. His seat, that's where he rests. It's like there's also other movies where they have chariots or UFOs, and they can be inside the chariot, the UFO, and they can make the floor appear as if they're on the sky, and they can look straight down to the earth. And when the people look up, they don't see them no more. They're blended in. What do they call it? Like cognito, or they're a chameleon. You know, they're cloaked. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that represents. It says, and before the throne, there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne, and round about the throne. So you can't see it, man, because the Most High said his throne is the heavens, man. So when you look out in the heavens, what do you see? The heavens. You ain't gonna see it until he manifests it. All right, which we're gonna get into here in 2nd Ezra real quick here in a minute. Then it says, "And in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind." We read it right here. All right, so it's the same vision, the same witness that John saw as Ezekiel. Okay, Now before we go on, well, real quick right here, it says, and the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast as a calf, and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. See, that's in Revelations. You see what I'm saying? So the Bible strictly talks about chariots, so-called UFOs, and the four beasts had each of them 6 wings about them, and they were full of eyes within. And what is that, man? Those are those chariots. That's what's coming. That's what Esau, the space wars, that's what that's all about. They're trying to get ready to fight against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua when he cracks them heavens, man. All right? They got his space program, they got his satellites up there in the heavens, ready to, any kind of foreign entity or alien comes in, they're going to attack it. You know? Hey, man, good luck. I mean, not good luck, but you're going to get your ass smashed. You know what I'm saying? The Bible it's already written, man. And it already shows you that you're going to get destroyed. All right, it says, we're full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, because they're a pure energy. They neither labor nor weary, right? Nor do they get weak, man. You see what I'm saying? And they rest not day and night, saying, holy, holy, Lord power almighty, Allah Shadia, which was and is to come. And when those beasts give glory and honor, thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever. All right? Oh, check it. I'm going to jump down to verse 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. So nothing goes outside of his command. See what I'm saying? Even the angels, they glorify him, man. Even the wicked angels, they know what they glorify him. Because how do I know that? Because when you go into the accounts, when Yahweh was on the earth, casting out demons out of people, they knew that he was the Son of the Most High, man. And they feared him. And if you fear somebody, what does that mean? You have respect. Because those two go hand in hand. Now, if you don't fear somebody, you don't got respect for them. You know? And that's what things have to be, you know, certain things have to be implemented. That's what rebuked or put to death. You know? And those angels, what did they cry to him? Say, hey, cast us into that 2,000 things of swine. Because they said, does thou come to destroy us? How do they say it? Does thou come to destroy us before our time? So they begged Yahweh Shai to cast it into the 20,000 things of swine. You know, that herd of swine. And what happened when they leaped into the swine, they bugged out and went and drowned themselves in the damn river, in the lake anyways. You see? So everything is subject unto Yahweh Shai. Right? Read that part one more time.
And the likeness of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above.
Yep, and that terrible crystal, because it's going to be terrible to y'all, because you ain't going to be in that chariot. You ain't going to be caught up in the chariots, man. In a twinkling of an eye. You're going to be down here between that great goal fixed between us and you. Lord will, I'm part of the elect. But that's how it's going to be. And you're going to be wishing you were in that chariot, man. Standing on that sea of glass. Being able to stand on something and still able to see your enemy being devoured by fire. And it tells you that in Revelation. I'm about to bring it out. Go ahead.
And under the firmament were their wings straight, the one towards the other. Everyone had two, which covered one on the side, and everyone had two, which covered on that side, their bodies.
Yep. But in Revelations, if you paid attention, it said each of them has 6 wings. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good though. That's it on there. Let me go ahead and bring out, or go ahead and go to Revelations 15 and 1. Revelations 15 and 1.
Revelations 15 and 1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw as it were a sea of glass, mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image.
And that's talking about the future prophecy of deliverance, because that sea of glass is going to be, that's what when we're caught up in that sea of glass, the chariot, we're going to be looking down, it's going to be fire coming up. All right? Like I said, they had those that had gotten the victory. Who are the ones that are going to get the victory? The elect. How are they going to be delivered? By way of the chariots. How were they delivered in the time of Moses? By way of a chariot, a whirlwind. By day, it was a cloud. By night, a pillar of fire. All right? Go ahead. You can read.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name.
It's talking about the RFID chip. All right, the radio frequency identification chip that they're going to implement and demand everyone to be chipped with. All right, and if not, you're going to meet the guillotine. You're going to be killed. You know, you're going to die. Go ahead.
Stand on the sea of glass.
See, and they were standing on the sea of glass, that terrible crystal, that sea of glass, that crystal. All right, that's the chariot. Go ahead.
Having the harps of God.
Having the harps of God, having that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We're going to be glorifying Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai when we're in that chariot. We're going to be praising Him, thanking Him. Well, it's going to be rejoicing, crying, all types of emotions are going to be going on, man. One thing we ain't going to experience is it's not going to be a form of sorrow as far as like on the negative side. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to be angry. We're going to know right then and there, it's over. There's not going to be no more suffering, crying, none of that, man. That's what the chariots are there for. They're waiting to deliver us, man. They're waiting to fight for us. They fight for us right now, but they're going to fight for us at a greater scale. Go ahead.
And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God.
See? So the Old Testament don't matter, but the New Testament is still quoting the Old. It's still quoting the time of Moses, that great deliverance, right? They sing the song of Moses, man. Which Moses means what? Masha means what? Drawn out. We're about to be drawn out of this motherfucker. We're about to be delivered out of this hellhole, man. We're gonna escape that great fire that's about to burn up all these people, man. All right. Go ahead.
And the songs of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints.
That's right. Let's talk about Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. They're worthy of all praise because of their majesty, their marvelous works. It's like I read in Psalm 98:1. It said the same thing. We're seeing that new song. That's what we're doing right now. That's what we're preparing ourselves, man. Lord willing, if you're the elect, that's what you're doing. You're preparing yourself to present yourself as a body, as a bride that is ready, that's decked out, that she's ready, she's clean. Like the word tahar means pure, which goes back to the word clean in the Hebrew. Okay? That's how we want to appear, and that's how the Most High is waiting for us to be. All right? In the process of us suffering, going through what we do, breaking down the scriptures, edifying the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Is that it on there?
Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy, for all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest.
That's right. These judgments are being made manifest right now. But at a great scale, they're going to know it, death by pain. And there ain't going to be no escaping that death, that fire. Then that's when they're going to truly know it. You know? Bring this one now. This is in the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this come to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. See? It's going to come, man. These things that are written in this book are being fulfilled right now before your eyes, before our eyes. All right? But for people to start start believing it's going to happen at a greater scale, but it's going to be to your destruction. It ain't going to be to where you have a second chance. All right, because right now, the door of repentance, of acceptance, this is the acceptable, the year of the Lord is right now. Right now is when you're supposed to be seeking Him, not at the time of your destruction, at your deathbed, like a lot of people do. Oh, now I'm ready to give my life up to the Lord. We only have like an hour to live. Get the fuck out of here. The Lord ain't looking for people like that, man. He put you in this body to serve Him, to take care of yourself, man, to glorify Him, so people can see through you that there's something different. Then they'll ask me, hey, what's up with you? I'm good. Oh, is something wrong? No, you seem different. All right? You don't have to tell them right then and there, but eventually they're going to find out that you serve Yahweh Shai. Because in our society, people think that you have to be loving everybody, you have to be kind to everybody. You know, a bunch of hypocrites, but they ain't even like that, man. They don't help the poor. You know what I'm saying? They don't feed the poor. But when a man stands up the way we do, with the austere face, with austerity, all right, being strict, loud, won't hesitate to cuss somebody out, they think that's evil. But the rest of the world, they love each other. They hold hand in hand with one another. They're all about the gay community. You see what I'm saying? But when it comes to us, they're like they want us there. They want us out, man. They can give two shits if we die. But they'll care. They want to cry over some niggas and Mexicans that are drug dealers and gangbangers. They get blasted and shot by the cops. They cry for them. What were they doing? What were they doing their whole life, man? They were doing nothing but mischief. But when a man comes over here and stands for righteousness, they want to see us dead, man. That's the hypocrisy. You know? Not realizing that what we're doing is the truth. This is the realness. This is the rawness that we're showing love, man. The scriptures say open rebuke is better than secret love. I ain't about that. You know? So the men of the Lord, they're not going to be about that. There's a balance to everything. But the majority of the world, they want to smile at each other and act like they're real friendly, but really they don't fucking love each other. They don't really want to help each other. You know? They just want to use each other. You know? Scriptures go into that too in the Apocrypha about how to discern who a real friend is. How some friends will just want to be your friend because of who you are, or because you may be known in the city, because you might have riches. But when it comes to somebody that's of a low state, that is of need and that needs help, they despise that man. They turn away from that man. But guess what? That poor man has the help of Yahweh Shai, man. The angels back him up. See what I'm saying? You got your money, you know, that's like over here in Midland, they got these big time oil field companies out here, man. They got a big bank out here, man. But they're receiving their consolation on this side. And it's gonna be to their destruction. The angels ain't looking out for them. I guarantee you that, man. The angels are waiting to put a hurt on them, man. And they're waiting to see their riches go up in smoke, man. Just like they did to the Egyptians. You know? When the angels put out the 10 plagues on Egypt, they were angels were laughing, man, destroying them because of what they did to their people. So these so-called UFOs, man, people, you know, some people may be lucky to see them, and they all laugh and they can take pictures of it, this, that, and the third, right? Not knowing that craft and that spirit that's in it is waiting to fucking destroy you, man. It's waiting to kill you. It's like when you see on YouTube, you walk up to at a zoo and you see a lion on the other side of this window. You see the kids all laughing and the parents are laughing about it, and you see it in that lion's eyes, ready to devour you, man. That's how Yahweh Shai are, man. The angels. The only ones they're looking down on with compassion are the elect. That's it. If you have anything to say, yeah. Let me see here, brothers, real quick. Zechariah chapter 2. Start at verse 6. Zechariah 2 and 6. It's a little bit before Matthew. Zechariah, Malachi, and Matthew. Zechariah 2 and 6. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like these people have no idea. The inhabitants of the earth have no idea of what's about to come. You know? They think these things that we speak are nothing but fables. You know? We're just it's a little trend. We're just some Bible thumpers, holy rollers. You know? But not realizing that we could possibly be their future judges, man. You know?
Zechariah chapter 2, verse 6. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith Yahweh.
Who's the land of the north? America, man. All right, you're over here on the western hemisphere. All right, go ahead.
For I have spread you among as four winds of the heaven, saith Yahweh.
That's right. The Israelites are scattered to the four corners of the earth. That's what those winds represent: north, south, east, and west.
Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwelleth with the daughter of Babylon.
Right. How do you deliver yourself? By repenting, coming back to your true nationality, accepting Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai as your Lord and Savior, and doing the work. All right? And building up your faith. Keeping your faith. All right? And Lord willing, you'll be saved. Go ahead.
For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you toucheth the apple of his eye.
That's right. So you poke the Lord in his eye. You poke the Lord's eye, man. You know how painful that is to get poked in the eyeball? So you fucking with this people, you messing with this people, was it as you poking him in his eyeball, man? And there's probably no number to it. So the Lord just sitting there, just taking it, you poking him in his eye. Now he's already, this is what he's doing right here. Read that part again.
For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that touches you touches the apple of his eye.
That's right. This is what he does right here. This is Acts chapter 17, verse 30. At the times of this ignorance, God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. So the word, you know, there's that winking. If somebody winks the eye at you, is basically saying, "Oh, I saw you do it, but I'm gonna let you slide." That's what the Most High is done with that now. He's done with you hurting his people. He's done with you doing all this mass wickedness to the earth, polluting the earth. You know, speaking blasphemous words that is towards his name, to everything that is called Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's done. And the times of this ignorance, Yahweh winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent, because he hath appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he had ordained. Who is that man? Yahweh Shai. All right? And Yahweh Shai is a man of war. Okay? He's going to judge and make war with the nations. That's what he's doing. That's why he's gathering all the nations right now in the valley of Jehoshaphat, because he's about to come. He's about to go to war. And Esau knows he's about to go to war too. The higher ups, they know that the almighty power of heaven, of the earth, and things of that nature is coming back. All right? Go ahead. Is there a little bit more? Zechariah 19. Go ahead.
For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants.
That's right. So you're gonna be our spoil. You're gonna be our booty. All right. We're gonna use you according to how you used us, double, righteously though, because everything that's gonna happen to you is because what you did to us. All right. Go ahead.
And ye shall know that Yahweh of hosts hath sent me.
Yep. You shall know that the Yahweh of hosts has sent me. All right. That's why I said I brought that one Ezekiel 33 and 33. That they shall know that a prophet had been among them when these things come to pass. Because we're telling you now, man. All right? We're letting you know now what your future judgment is. And who's going to be saved and not be saved, man. Okay? So go to 2nd Ezra. Start at 13. Start at verse 1. So we're going to go into 2nd Ezra 13:1, where Ezra saw the future prophecy and the same chariot that Ezekiel and John the Revelator saw, man. All right, the mothership, so-called mothership, was really, like I said, it's his throne, man. All right, because Yahweh Shema Shai, they ain't no women. Okay, they're men.
2nd Ezra 13:1, and it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
So what is that water that represents? The people. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be moving, man. They're going to be in great fearfulness when they see him coming cracking them clouds, man. It's like in the movie Independence Day. They couldn't see that ship from where it began or where it ended, man. That's what it's going to go into. That water, the body of water represents people. Okay? Go ahead.
Whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
That's how the Lord's gonna fight, is by his word, man. He's gonna send out these laser beams. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna telepathically hear his voice, and it's gonna fry their spirit, brain. You know, because the scriptures show you in different verses that he ain't holding no sword, man, like man do. His sword is his word. Like I read in Revelations earlier about the hidden manna. Right before that verse, it talked about he was in a fight with the word, the sword of his mouth. Go ahead.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
That's right. And that shit's hot. You ever been in your car when it's on a hot day and your elbow touches that metal piece onto the safety belt that locks? That shit hurts. Just imagine the ICBM missiles, man. They're gonna be, I don't even know the number. And then at that, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, it's gonna be a great power, man. Go ahead.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld.
That's right. So all the nations are going to try to fight against this intrusion, all right? This invasion, which is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Let me bring this out. Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. So that's where they get that confusion, thinking that there's actually a spiritual battle up there in the heavens. No, that's talking about a man fighting against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai when he cracks the clouds. Go right here real quick, just to verify. Revelations 19:19. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. It's like the brother read.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Who is that man that's coming out of the heavens, man? Yahweh Shai. Okay? Go ahead.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain.
He had graven himself a great mountain, man. All right? Where else can you find that word mountain? In the book of Daniel, when the Nebuchadnezzar had the dream about a statue, the head of gold was representing his kingdom. All right, then you had the different other segments of different metals, but then there was a rock a great rock that came and broke them all to pieces. That was Yahweh Shai. All right? And you can go to the book of Zechariah. It talks about the chariots there too. Which, you know, matter of fact, let me bring that out real quick. This is in the book of Zechariah. The book of Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 5 verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. That's a chariot. That's what the prophet Zechariah had witnessed. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I see a flying robe, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, because it's a curse unto the wicked, man. It's a blessing unto us, because we know that's our deliverance. See, that's who's gonna come and fight for us. Just like in the old times, the African, not the African, but the Negroes, when they were brought over to serve slavery, what was one of the songs they would sing? Swing, oh sweet low chariot. I forgot how to say it. You know what I'm saying? They were praying that the chariot would swing low to deliver them, man. Swing low, oh sweet chariot, Salaki. That's how it is. All right, that's what's gonna deliver us and fight for us. The angels, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It says, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Who's the house of the thief? Who's the thief? Esau. What's his house? America. So it's going to enter here, man. Okay? And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, 2/3, the Negro Latinos and Native American Indians that don't want to get right. But you know this name, you know this knowledge, and you ain't doing nothing with it. Alright? And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. See? So that's what it is. Okay? Go ahead.
When I beheld him, lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew upon it.
Flew upon it. How can somebody fly upon a mountain? So it's symbolic. It's for a chariot. All right. Go ahead.
But I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld.
So Ezra couldn't see where it began and where it ended. That's how huge this chariot was. Like in the movie Independence Day, like I said, that's the best visual I can give the brothers to see, to understand what Ezra was witnessing.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
Yeah, but yet it was still in their spirit to fight. You know, it was still in them to fight against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know? It's like in the book of Ezekiel, was it 37? Ezekiel 38:1, and it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. That's the Russians. All right? And say, thus saith the Lord of power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them holding swords. So the Lord is going to make you go to war with him. Though you're afraid, but you're going to fight still. That's power, man. Because somebody that in his right mind, when you're scared, you know you have no chance. You're going to run. But you Edomites, you other nations, y'all going to still remain fighting. But it's because the Spirit of the Lord is going to make you fight. It says, verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer, and all his bands, the house of Togarmah, and of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with him. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. See, so that's talking about the Israel, the Amalekites being a guard unto them. He's going to be the one that's going to usher in this Third World War. But they're going to try to fight against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, that's why they're gathering all these different nuclear warheads and things of that nature. All right, these things are not just going to be used in museums later on in the future. Or they once talked about, oh yeah, we got this close from using them. No, they're going to be used. Okay? It says, and after many days thou shalt be visited, and in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and shall be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. See, so you're going to try to fight against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. All these different nations are going to come and try to fight against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that rides and flies upon that mountain. It says, verse 10, thus saith the Lord power, it shall also come to pass that all the same time shall things come into thy mind. See? Shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. So you're going to think to fight against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and actually think you're going to prevail. You're gonna think, you actually think you're gonna win, not knowing that he's the potter and you're the clay. You forgot yourself, man. You forgot that you're just a man, man. And that's what we're gonna do. And according to Isaiah 14, when we say Lucifer, how thou far from heaven, we're gonna never look upon thee and say, this was the man that shook the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness. This guppy, this Amalekite rat. See. But an evil thought's going to come in your head that you actually think you're going to fight and prevail against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua when it's written already. You will not prevail. Like it said in Revelation 19. Okay.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him.
Yo, at the Valley Jehoshaphat, over there in Megiddo. All right, Armageddon, which means the Valley of Troops, or the Mountain of Troops. All right, in the Middle East, over there by the river Euphrates, man. Go ahead.
Subdue him, were sore afraid, and yet dare fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
That's right. Why? Why is that? Because he's going to be in a crab, a chariot. You see? And that chariot is going to be shooting off laser beams, man. Pure energy. All right? And they show you that in the World of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. When you're being turned into powder or smoke, or when that beam hit you, you just turned into ash, man. The Bible tells you that he's going to grind you to powder, man.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
That's right, see? That's out of the mouth of what? The chariot, man. Okay? Not out of his physical mouth. So he could. Like I said, he could do all things.
And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
That's right, man. He's going to be destroying people, man. Zapping them. All right? Go ahead.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them.
It fell upon them, man. The ones that thought they were going to fight and prevail against Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right? Hold that right there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Let's hold that right there.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 17. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet.
So he's going to use these different, because you have to understand, words have energy, they have vibrations. So Yahweh Shem Yahweh created these words. He created our languages and things of that nature. All right, so he's going to use jealousy as a complete armor. You ain't going to be able to penetrate him, man. Who's he jealous over? His people. Like I said, you have spoiled his people, and you have touched the apple of his eye. So for a complete jealousy, you know, it's like a man, he fights for his wife, he's jealous over his wife. That rage, that fire that's burning that man, he'll stomp out anybody that comes into his path. Why? Because he's fighting for what's his, man, his possession. That's what his armor is. Go ahead.
He shall put on a righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of a helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield.
He shall use holiness as an invincible shield too, as well. You cannot penetrate him. It even tells us that not the flesh and blood can inherit the kingdom of heaven. So how are your little darts, your bullets, your little missiles going to be able to penetrate Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's throne, man? His craft. It's going to be like you throwing pencils at him, man. Go ahead.
His severe wrath shall be harpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise.
Right, who's that world talking about the elect? All right, the angels. All right, like in the movie Avatar, that brought, you know, something to my remembrance. Towards the end of the movie, you saw that the earth, that their planet was fighting for them. The animals started fighting for them. Right? That's how it's going to be in that time too. You go to the book of Job, it said that the animals and things of that nature are going to be at league with the elect. Nothing's going to hurt the elect. But to everybody else, they're going to be dying by animals. People are going to be killing them, raping them, men raping men, men raping women, raping children, animals killing people. There's going to be lions here in America, man. Showed you that in that movie, I Am Legend, with Will Smith. Because the zoos, they have zoos all over here, and those animals are going to get out, man.
His severe wrath shall be harpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolt,
the bright thunderbolts, go ahead,
go abroad.
They're going to go abroad, man. All right, go ahead.
And from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow.
And from the clouds, man. The chariot, not a chariot likened unto a cloud. Go ahead.
Shall they fly to the mark. Hailstones.
You ain't going to escape. It's like in that movie with Tom Cruise, World of the Worlds. That beam, once that beam shot out from that thing, when it hit its mark, that person just you know, just turned into ash, man, immediately. Running, you see him running with his eyes wide, his mouth wide open, and just out of nowhere, once that beam hit him, it was done. It was gone. Hit right on the mark. It didn't miss. We're not gonna miss. All right. Go ahead.
And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them.
Yep. So everything's going to be with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai at that time, man. Everything's going to be to these 2/3, to these Edomites and other nations, to their destruction. But I wanted the brother to bring that one out because it goes into that what we're reading in 2nd Ezra 13. How they're going to come out as lightning bolts. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming with complete armor of jealousy and righteousness and holiness. And that's what's going to be his power, man. You know? It's not something that men create. Men create walls and bars and bulletproof glass windows and things of that nature. No, the Most High is a straight power, man, energy. All right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty.
That's right. So that could be likened unto the ICBM missiles as well. That strong wind, that destroying wind. Because simultaneously it's going to happen at the same time with Yahweh Shai's return and the missiles being dropped down. But also, like I said, the scriptures bear witness, there's going to be another battle over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. Over there by the river Euphrates. Alright? Where the other nations are being gathered together. Let me bring this one out real quick. This is Luke chapter 20, verse 17. And he beheld them and said, what is this then that is written? The stone which the builders rejected. And who is the stone? Yahweh Shai. The same has become the head of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon the stone shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. See? So like the brother's reading right there, the account of Ezra witnessing that chariot being likened unto a mountain. That's what it's going to be doing to these people, man. Grinding them to powder, man.
Second Ezra 13, verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight.
It's like in the Ghostbusters, you know, when they have that little weapon, they would zap the ghost, the spirit, and then when it would come out, you would see like different things, you know, different energy within that beam. You know, that's how I saw when it said the tempest. What did it say? The tempest and what else? That's gonna come out at the same time. Blast of fire, and the flaming breath, and the great tempest. It's like that's what I saw with the Ghostbusters when they bring out that weapon and they shoot the spirit. You see all these different energies coming out of that one beam. That's how it is with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, but way more severe. All right. Go ahead.
Fell with violence upon the multitude.
See, it's going to be violent out here. Yahweh Shai's slaughter is going to be great. The slaughter of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to be great.
Which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone.
And burned them up everyone. I got the scripture right here in the book of Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. See? So that's the same thing, man. So it's verifying. Where there's 2 or 3 more witnesses, that's where that word is solidified, man. Okay? So Isaiah solidified it. Ezra solidified it, or witnessed it. Isaiah witnessed it, now it's solidified, man. John the Revelator witnessed it. Read it again. Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. See, like you said right there at that last one. Read it again, that last part.
And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone.
And burn them up everyone, man, with violence. That's how Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who the world really calls God and Jesus, that's how he's coming back, man, as a man of war. Not no hippie, white Edomite smoking a blunt. Alright? Saying, I want you all to love and play Ring Around the Roses. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back to destroy, man. And to deliver his people. Go ahead.
So that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude, no thing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
There you go. Ain't nothing to be perceived now. That's why the Lord said, not one stone shall be left upon another in that time. Nothing's going to be left. Everything's going to be destroyed. Man. You know? So-called mighty men that go to work out and trying to get all buff and bad and think they're off the chain. They take special training, like martial arts, this, that, and the third. That shit ain't going to matter nothing when you're facing with the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? He's going to destroy you. You're going to be like powder, man. You're going to be as nothing.
When I saw this, I was afraid.
That's right. You should be afraid. You should be scared right now. The people that watch the videos are here. Y'all people should be afraid right now. Y'all should be asking, well, what do I got to do? Repent. Get right. You know? Negro Latinos and Native American Indians, man. Or you confusing the faces, you're other Gentiles. You may look like another nation, but you might be you're an Israelite, man. So it's time to get right. Because death and destruction is coming, man. Last year, the Elder Tahar likened last year, the 3D, man. Death, destruction, and diligence. And still we're doing that to this very day. It's going to be that way until kingdom come, man. Go ahead.
Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered.
So that great multitude, that peaceable multitude is the elect. Some of them were glad and some were sorrowful. You know, some were going to be destroyed. The other ones are going to receive that deliverance, that salvation, that crown of life. That's a great judgment.
Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days.
That's right, man. Whoa. But us brothers, we can't have that spirit, the woe is me spirit. You know, we gotta have faith and confidence. You know, if we're doing the right things. As a matter of fact, I've been wanting to bring this out, man. Real quick, Philippians. If you're doing the right thing, you ain't got nothing to worry about, man. Lord's will. All right. In the book of Philippians. We go ahead and read this now. In the book of Philippians. This is Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things, man. You know, you gotta have confidence. Do the right thing, think on these things. And that's what's gonna keep you looking and stop having that woe is me spirit, man. Because when you read Ezra made that comment more than once. All right, go ahead.
For as I conceived in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now, understanding I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them, and those that are left behind, therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare.
That's right, man. People are going to be in great straits in that time, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. All right? But before it gets good, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. And when it gets better, simultaneously, that's when it's going to begin. Because right when those ICBM missiles hit, that's when the elect is going to be shot up in the beam, by that beam of light to the chariot. All right? Where everybody else is going to be destroyed. You know? The scriptures talk about the chariots. The scriptures talk about the deliverance of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by way of these crafts. Is it one?
Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come unto these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world.
Yeah, man. So you're gonna have to go through it, man. You're not just gonna go through that life, through that time, and just die a death and like everybody else dies out here. They live a full age. You're gonna have to go through the dangers thereof, man. You shall know it, death by pain, like it says in 2 Ezra chapter 9. You're gonna know it, death by pain, because you loathed his laws, you hated his laws, you didn't accept the repentance. So now you're gonna know it, death by pain, man. Now you're gonna have to go through those straight gates, but it's gonna go through with no hope. It's gonna be up to the Lord when He's ready for you to die. That's it on there. So, hope it was edifying, brothers. You know, I wanted to bring that out. You know, just proving certain things that the Bible speaks about the chariots. There's many other scriptures. You know, with Elisha, Elijah, Enoch. You know what I'm saying? That even Jude quotes Enoch in the book of Jude. The angels coming, thousands upon thousands are coming. You know, it's going to be a mass invasion, you know, so-called invasion, but really it's a deliverance. But it's an invasion to Esau, the so-called white man, because this is his kingdom, this is his heaven. But Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is going to come and deliver us and destroy the wicked off the face of the earth, man. There's going to be thousands upon thousands of angels that are coming back, man. And they're going to fight for us. You know, it's like when Yahweh Shai, before he was put to death by Pontius Pilate, he said that he could command 12,000 legions, or 12 legions of angels to come and fight for him, man, if he wanted to. So to each legion is like 5,000 to 6,000 soldiers, you know. But just by one angel itself would have destroyed that whole damn place, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, they're real. It's real. This ain't no little fable. All right. This is according to biblical prophecy, and it's only to those men of faith, men of understanding, and of that are called to the election of being chosen by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to receive this precious word. But we're going to leave it with that. I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakat Kodash. All right, until next time, I want to say Shalom.